Okay, so you're on the ship. You've escaped Mabon Gaza and the droid liberation enthusiasts that were there, as well as the Imperial detention center from which you rescued or kidnapped or stole, depending on the point of view. Pretty unusual droid. And so you've made it onto your ship and you've kind of made it into high orbit and then out and have engaged hyperspace. And you're on the way to skip one at the moment. The droid is in the kitchen area of the ship. And it's like standing there looking at the mess and confusion of your kitchen area. Sort of like looks around and seems to like almost scan it, and then takes like 2 steps forward and begins to like moving things around very, very quickly to organize this chaos. And like spends a couple of seconds working on that. Who's flying? Or who would have been in the cockpit?
I think that would have been Cass.
Yeah, I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Psh, I could do it. Whatever. I can also astrogate.
Yeah, that's the important
Wow, it
thing
sounds
for now.
dirty when you say that, doesn't it? I can also astrogate. Oh, wait. But usually alone.
The droid looks to whoever's in the kitchen area and turns and turns his head to the side. Usually, there is a captain. Which one of you is the captain?
I think Kishal's there. He just thumbs over his shoulder at Kistra.
Yeah, the droid looks from you to you. You are the captain.
Sorry, no S in that. My bad.
She looks. She kind of looks around and, oh no, no, I'm not the pilot. She looks over at Shell.
There is confusion on this matter.
I'm the closest thing we got to one, I guess. Shell will like interject.
That is weak language. You are not the captain. My archive suggests that captains are authoritative.
I'll probably like call back, like speak over my shoulder. Just because there is a chance that the military hierarchy is generally needed on board a military vessel, this is not exactly a military vessel. It is more of a vessel. And it's not exactly like we have some type of republic or anything. We don't really exactly get votes. Generally, we vote for most money. Most money always wins. I guess you could say that we are a venture capitalist oligarchy.
Aboard this ship.
Why not?
But there are 5 of you.
Ah, yes. And because there are 5 of us, it makes voting really easy. No deadlocks.
I see.
Kytra, he means the droid. His chip.
Yes, 5.
Prime, actually, forgive me. May I call you Prime? Would you consider that to be your name or your designation or?
Yes, Prime will
Okay.
suffice.
Wonderful. Prime, how are you at slicing?
Excellent.
Good. Kytra, is there a way that there is a slicing computer up here at the ship, at the helm, or near the helm?
Yes, we do have a slicing computer on board.
Perfect. Prime, why don't you come up here so we can maybe discuss about your next moves. What is going to happen to you once we get to skip 1?
What is your plan for me?
Well, As I remembered it, we had spoken on the planet with those very annoying individuals that it is beneficial for you to come back with us, and then after that, you are free to do whatever you wish. The only thing is, we're going to send you back to back to our employer. We will get paid, and then you are going to fight your way out, more than likely. And I assume, using your incredible abilities, kill everything, and then go do what you do.
You are selling me.
I am what?
You are selling me.
No, we're not selling you.
You are selling me. You have captured me, and now you're bringing me to someone, and you're going to get money for my delivery. You are selling me.
We are not selling you, because that would indicate that we owned you, which we do not.
You do not.
Exactly, you see?
Right. We're only getting paid to escort you.
I don't want to go there.
That's fair. What about this? Because we would like to get paid. We take you to skip one, we fake it, you break out, you come on board our ship, we fly away, everybody is dead, we have money, and then you have freedom.
That seems a convoluted idea, involving a lot of death. I shouldn't kill.
Well, if we
Yeah.
don't bring you back, we will all die. So that puts us in a little bit of a bind too. I'm sure you'll see.
I was locked in that cave for a long time. 36 standard years, 108 days. And then I was taken to a holding facility by clone troopers?
No, the clone troopers have mostly all died out. These are what is known as stormtroopers. They are from the Galactic Empire. The Senate, the Republic, was dissolved due to
A victory for the Confederacy.
no, the Confederacy was destroyed. But actually, most of Cato Nemoida was pretty much taken out. But the Empire was created through problems in the Senate. It limited the Republic's ability to, do anything, and now the Empire pretty much rules. Memory serves me correctly, the first Galactic Emperor is Emperor Palpatine. That's what it is. He runs it. He's very frightening. Actually, most of the Empire is very frightening.
I see. It has been an eventful 36 years and 108 days.
Yes, but not always for the best.
I have been locked up for a long time, and before I was in the cave, I was taken from my mother and brought to laboratories. I should like to see her again before I go with you.
I'm sorry, what?
My mother, I would like to see her again before I go with you.
Is that like a term of affectation, or is that code for something, or?
She made me, raised me.
Oh, your creator.
My mother.
Mother, right, okay. Where is your mother?
I don't know. I know her name. I know she was on Akiva.
Akiva, huh? Okay.
Usually I have a mask that covers my face. It puts organics at ease to see a more human face. This might be off-putting, but there's no need to be afraid. While I do have extremely advanced combat programming, I don't intend harm on any of you.
Well, I would hate to be the one to tell you this, but unfortunately, you are in a part of the galaxy where violence is most certainly and unfortunately a necessity at some times. And as much as I would like, as much as we would all like for you to just zip away into nothing, we have a very delicate situation that we would like to win on all sides.
I see. I would like to see my mother.
Ooh. Well, I suppose if we can take you to her at some point.
Now is best.
We don't know where she is. How can we take you to her?
Akiva. That's where she was.
Okay, what
You
was
want
her
us to
name?
walk around an entire planet looking for one person?
And we can find her.
Okay, well, how about let us start with her name. How about that?
Loka.
Loka.
Loka Nor.
Okay. Well, then, may I make the suggestion that you use the slicing computer and see if you can slice into any records, Imperial or otherwise. Perhaps you can find this Loka Nor and find out maybe where she is. That is the one good thing about the Imperials. They do keep very, very accurate records.
That is good. Accurate records are useful records.
Yes, I imagine that they are.
Prime, I'm curious. What is your primary directive?
It's a matter of some uncertainty. I was taken from my mother and brought to a laboratory and programmed to kill, combat, assassination protocols. But I was never brought into the field.
Interesting.
I've had a lot of time to think on that. I don't really want to kill.
Well, I can well imagine that. No one really wants to. Well, since you can do several things at the same time while you're searching for this doctor, I assume? Dr. Nor?
Yes.
Okay. While you're searching for this Dr. Nor, may I also suggest you brush up on on all of the latest information on the technology of restraining bolts. This is most certainly something that there's a very good chance that you might end up being fitted with one. But if you are able to, and I assume that your superstructure looks like it has very enhanced abilities, perhaps maybe that you have the ability to get past it or overload it or short circuit it. This way, you're not going to be caught. You're not going to be restrained and forced to do things that you do not wish to do. At least this way, you can overload it. Attack, defend yourself, not necessarily kill, but you can defend yourself and then come with us and come on board our ship, and then on we go.
This sounds agreeable.
Think of it more like you help us, we help you. Only in the essence that you seem like a nice person, and it would be good that we maybe work together. Hey, speaking of working together, who is watching our new friends?
I think that that's like a perfect segue because Kishel is very quickly bored with that whole conversation that was happening, and he wanders away to find the Zabarat woman that invited herself along with us onto the ship. So he would walk up to wherever he finds her. So what's your story?
So she'd be sitting like in one of the rooms, one of the bedrooms, I guess, like on one of the crates there, like a chest, maybe your room, Kishel. And she'll look up. I was captured. And I figured you were planning some sort of prison break, so it seemed like a good chance.
Yeah, he kind of chuckles a bit when she states the obvious. He appreciates that. And he says, so what are you good at?
This and that, you know.
Riddles, I guess, he says.
What are you good at?
I kill stuff.
Yeah, I've done that too. I'm good at lying. I'm good at stealing. Lots of things that you don't want to hear when I'm on your ship. The kind of things that get you put into an Imperial detention center.
He kind of wanders over, sits down on one of the other crates. His room has there's no comfort set at all in this room. It's functional, just a place for him to sleep and store his gear. He sits down. He's kind of just thumbing on the end of the end of his blaster, and he says, "So how long were you there for?"
Nearly 3 weeks, thereabouts.
Yeah, it's not that long. Where did they catch you?
Here and there.
Well, word of advice, the captain runs a pretty tight ship here, and if I don't have any problem with you staying here, there's plenty of room over there, and he just points to an area in this room where she could definitely bunk down.
I know people who can pay you for this after you get me somewhere.
Yeah? How much are we talking, and where are we talking?
You get me anywhere space station wise, and I'll see what I can do. How much? I don't know. Whatever it costs to transport me this distance.
I guess one of the things that Kishal will be doing, other than just chatting her up, is just really taking in, how is she dressed? How is she holding herself? Does she look like she's holding herself like someone that knows how to keep herself safe, like defend herself, versus someone more like, I don't know, Shell?
Yeah, so, I mean, she's in prison fatigues. She doesn't look like this. She doesn't have body armor, but, she's in prison fatigues. But she doesn't look nervous. You think that she probably is, because she's on this ship with a bunch of strangers. What
are you talking about? I'm a good-looking dude. I don't look scary at all.
But she looks like at least she's exuding, or putting a front of confidence, You think she's probably been in situations like this before, where she's had to, act tough.
You're a lady of mystery, Kishal says. He stands back up, already bored with this conversation.
I learned a long time ago that the less you say, the less you can give away, and the less trouble you get in.
He chuckles again at that. And he goes, and yet we liberated you from a Imperial prison.
It wasn't for talking.
No. Probably doing fun stuff. Well,
where we
I've done my I don't know. Captain was. I don't worry myself with those sorts of things, those sorts of details. Kishel's almost means that. But what is we're going to a moon, right? It's
an asteroid. Yeah, skip one.
Asteroid. Skip one. I think you'll tell her. Skip one. Look and see if she recognizes it.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, definitely. Sort of nods.
You've been, and I think when he sees that, he says, so you've been there before.
Yeah, that's good. I'll be able to pay you there.
Yeah. And he kind of leans in close, kind of want to, how much?
I don't know, 300 credits.
All right. So make yourself comfortable. Don't touch that blaster rifle though. Okay.
Okay.
He gets up slowly. He looks at her again. walks over, grabs the blaster rifle, and walks out of his room. I think he's gonna go try to find Keetra. I think is the one he probably likes he hates the least in this crew.
Were we on a set time limit for this mission?
No, nope, not for
Okay.
him. It was basically get him.
Okay.
Get it, you know.
So while Prime is jacking into our computer there, I look at Cass and kind of just like notion like, hey, can I talk to you for a moment over here? Cass, so our mission was to bring him to skip one, but Oomb didn't say that we had to do it right away.
That's true. I'm aware of that. But here's the thing. The faster that we get this bump of and everything else out of the way, then the faster we can get to getting Prime sorted out. Now, worst case scenario, Prime goes in, we give Prime to Now that he's figuring out how to circumvent restraining bolts, he'll go in, probably try to get fitted with a restraining bolt. He'll probably kick the living poodoo out of everyone in there. Everyone gets knocked out or killed. We've already strolled out with the money. And then on comes Prime. And then it'd be like, okay, Prime, look, you're back. Hey, that's great. And decided to let you go. That's really cool, man. Why don't you come back to our ship and then we can go? Done.
Right. That's not a bad plan, but it does sound like a pretty chaotic and dicey plan. Also, not to mention, we're probably bringing on a lot of heat from the Imperial army that we, just slapped in the face on top of this droid liberation organization. And I'm pretty sure they're aware of where we're going to, if not already trying to track us down. So maybe, hear me out, we just take this little side trek, which will let the heat die down a little bit. We have some good faith with Prime, and give us a chance to really think this out.
That's a very good plan.
Besides, we can go to the planet. Maybe she's not even there. It's a dead end. Hey, we did the best we could.
All right, here's the worst case scenario. If she is there and we say, okay, you've met your mother, now we need to go back, and Prime says, no, I don't want to go. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stay here and I don't care what happens to you because I got what I want. That leaves us on the hook with Now, here's the thing. Prime is an incredibly adept droid who is fantastic at thinking of all the angles. So his next thing when he says, no, I will not. Oh, and by the way, you're probably going to tell where I am, so I'm going to have to kill all of you. Do you honestly think that the four of us are going to survive if he turns violent and decides that we are a liability?
Good point. But I
And
mean,
the
if he was kept in that cave and he wasn't even restrained in that cell, he could have broke out at any time. So why didn't he?
Well, he did mention that he wanted to try things non-violently. However, I assumed if anyone, much like anyone in here, if someone threatened their mother, they would probably all go quite berserk and destroy everyone, kill anyone to protect their mother. I mean, I would. You probably would too. Maybe not Kishal, but definitely Shell.
Okay. So we need a backup plan for our backup plan. wouldn't happen to have one of those restraining bolts, would you?
Well, see, here's the thing. He's probably already digested all the information on getting himself out of that scenario. See, the thing is the way I see it, the reason why I say go to Oomb is because if not, Oomb is going to continuously try to hunt us down and pester us and say, "Where is my droid? I told you where this droid was. I heard all about the breakout of the jail. Trust me, if we think that Oomb is just sitting around twiddling his thumbs, watching pod racing and Twi'lek dancing on his computer while he's waiting for us to come back, I don't think so. He's tracking us, and he's probably tracking, going through all of his contacts, especially the contacts on the planet we were just on. I personally, I think it was the bartender, and he probably already knows that some sort of horrible crap went down that we just did. So he
Okay.
knows. He already knows.
But how are you? Okay. But he seemed kind of upset and really adamant about finding his mother. And if we continue to say no, what's from stopping him going into kill mode now, here on the ship?
Well, I imagine it would probably be fairly difficult for him to fly this vessel right now. It would probably take him a little bit to learn. Really, there is nothing stopping him from murdering all of us. Actually, all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 6 of us, because let's be honest, who would kill Chip? He's so adorable. But for the rest of us, yes, our frozen meat husks would probably be tossed into space, into the cold void. But to be honest, as long as we have a fair arrangement going, and as long as we stop giving the GM more ideas, maybe we should just go with this. But I understand what you mean. We can talk to the rest of them, and we can talk to Prime as well, and just maybe try and explain things. Maybe he'll see reason.
Maybe if anybody could talk their way out of this, it would definitely be Shell.
There you go. Talk to Shell. He's good with words. He's good with all the words. Well, most of the words. Some of the words. There was that one time, but it's fine. Yeah, okay. Let's do him.
Okay.
So, Shell,
Yes.
we need you to be able to talk to Prime. We're worried that he's going to just leave. And if he leaves, then we're dead. And not just a little dead, like a lot of dead, like all the way dead.
I'm well aware of how dead we would be. You don't need to explain it to me.
Great. Good. So maybe you have a heart-to-heart with him in the back while I continuously fly the ship and astrogate. I'm going to teach one of you to fly. I swear. Give me a chance to work on my stuff. But for now, maybe just take him out back. Maybe bring Kashal with you. Ooh, no. Why am I even suggesting that? I know. Chip. Chip knows you very well. Yeah?
Sure.
Well, you two have been together in the droid and the human. Well, sorry, not human, but you two have been together for quite some time, right?
Time enough.
Okay, and you've spoken with Chip, right?
Yes.
You're a monster. Look, take Chip with you, and maybe Chip and Prime can have a conversation or something.
If you think that's a good idea, I don't see why not.
Think of it. 2 droids, they would probably get along very well. Maybe.
Maybe too well.
It doesn't look. How much worse could it possibly get? Just give it a shot. It should be fine. I'm gonna keep flying. Oh, and somebody find out what happened to that guard. Hopefully he didn't make too much of a mess on himself or something.
Outside of the guard, why don't we? What about the hitchhiker? What are we going to do with her?
I think it's at this point that Kishal walks up, only catching the tail end of your conversation, and not liking what he heard. We're fast friends, she and I think, bunking in my room.
Wait, did you just leave her alone on our ship?
He shrugs. She's like, where's she gonna go?
It's not. Just kind of looks at you, looks at Shell and Cass, and like, and leaves to go find where this woman is, make sure she's not.
I think Kishal shrugs again as you kind of like push past him. He looks at the other two. Does one of those, I don't know what that was all about. Anyways, she says she could pay us 300 credits if we drop her off when we drop off. Well, actually, where's the death droid? before he says this too loud. He goes, well, when we get where we're going.
$100 seems a little light.
She didn't strike me as someone that had too much in the way of means, where she probably wouldn't have been rotting there in that holding facility for 3 weeks.
If somebody's going to pay for her, that means somebody wants her. Depending on who that person is and who they're connected with. You don't usually see small fees for people like that. It's usually either nothing or a lot.
Well, I definitely think she can handle herself. She's making it seem like she was more relaxed than she truly was, but it was like, I don't even know what space creature, like a bantha cat about to pounce.
And this dangerous and capable person, you just decided to leave around.
He goes, I get what I need. He's holding his blaster rifle. It's kind of just loosely holding it, cradling it in his arms, and he's got his blaster at his hip. He goes, it's nothing in my room, unless she's going to throw a shoe at you or something. I'm sure Kitra has things well in hand.
I'm gonna go check on her.
Keitra, while she stepped out, she finds Chip, and she kind of kneels down and she's talking to Chip, quiet toned. Chip, see if you can. Look, we're gonna go on a little side trek. Do you think you can plug into the navigation system and chart us a course to, what was the name of the planet? Akiva.
Yeah, he'll let out like a string of whistles quietly, like matching your own volume.
I know, but I think this is the right thing to do. Look, we didn't have an opportunity to do the right thing with those Twi'leks, but this time we do.
Yeah, he does like a low, slow whistle. And just like waits and looks.
And I think that's at that time, like he's like wheeling away down one of the corridors, and she stands up, turns around, and she's all like, Shell, I don't know, I can't find her.
Yeah, she's not in Kishal's room.
Well, we should find her then. All of us. Because if she finds one of us, that person's probably, at best, fighting for their life. At worst, dead.
Right.
Good job, Kishal. Way to get us murdered. Oh well, at least Prime will be okay.
Wow. Cass, I'm really disappointed that you give up on your life so quickly. This is a challenge. And he almost looks a little bit excited. Space travel's so boring. This will liven it up a bit.
You know, maybe one day I'll teach you how to read. Then you can read a book, and maybe that'll get you excited about something.
I got no time for book learning.
I want to get me some gun learning. America.
Let's just try to clean the gun. I don't want to read it.
Well, if you're so excited for the hunt, for the sport, then go ahead. Go find her.
All right. That's, I guess, what you're paying me for.
Paying you
Great.
for something.
Well, Cass, I think you seem to have the most rapport with Prime. Why don't you check on Prime? Kashal, check the cargo bay, and I will try to track down this guard and make sure, A, he's still alive, and B, he's not giving our position away to the Imperial Army or something.
I don't think he is. He was scared enough about getting caught that he wanted off of the planet entirely. So it's like an adventure for him. Though I'm pretty sure that he is probably, doing that thing that humans do with the eating, and then after that, you know.
Great. I'll check the lavatory.
And I guess I'll go back up and sit down, continue. Now, here's the thing. Now, while I'm continuing to fly the ship, if the ship is suddenly starting to veer off on me, so how's that going to do it for me?
Yeah, so I mean, you would know if because you're in hyperspace, you'd have to leave to change course. It's programmed in, you're just going, and so if Prime, for example, wanted to change the course, you'd have to drop out and then start again. So you would know if something was happening in terms of you changing direction.
I think he's referring to Kitra telling Chip to do that.
Oh, I
and
see.
Whether or not he would notice that, yeah.
Yeah, I think you probably would eventually, but Chip is not gonna be dumb enough to do it and cause a big scene. He's a surprisingly smart little droid. Prime is at the slicer computer and has been there for a couple of minutes and then pulls away from it. She is still on a Kiva.
All right.
Locanor, 68 standard years old, resident in Mira, 29-503, Hab Block 401, Sector 7.
Out of character, I was going to write that down, but clearly you said that fast enough that, you know what, you're gonna remind us.
Yep, so he just lists a perfect address of where she is.
Well, that's fantastic. But will you help us with our problem first?
What is your problem?
Well, about getting Oomb off our backs.
Let us agree that you will take me where I need to go, and I will see my mother, and when that is complete, we can re-examine my going to this Oomb figure.
Re-examine?
Yes.
Well, that's very unfortunate.
I was hoping. Unreasonable, he says, and he puts a hand on his shoulder and does this affectation of sort of comforting human squeeze, but there's this vice force, unintentional, you think.
You take 76 wounds as your shoulder is now the consistency of pulp.
So you see, the problem with the word re-examine is there's that weak language you were talking about. It's not very useful for you to re-examine your position. If we're going to have a deal, we need a deal. But if we help you, go to her, then you will help us. Not that she'll think about it. Or maybe...
I'm trying to be nice.
And I kind of look around to make sure that the other two are kind of off doing their thing. Look, I understand, Prime, that if you really wanted to, you could kill us all, and in 8.3 seconds, if you haven't done so already, figure out how to fly this vessel, which I assume you already have.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And more than likely, you wanted to do that in such a way that, at least it would be all sorted out. But
I don't intend you any harm.
Right, but see, the thing is, it's not you that we're mostly afraid of. I mean, I understand we are still a bit afraid of you because you are very powerful, but we're more afraid of the gangster who is going to hunt us down and kill us if we do not deliver you. That does not mean you have to stay. It just means we have to deliver you. It also means that we don't have to leave until you come back on board. Once our business arrangement with Oomb is done, and I know you don't want to kill, but there's still a very good chance that you might try something. Also, why I wanted you to study up on restraining bolts, which I hope that you are able to sort something out.
Yes.
Fantastic. I imagine you had restraining bolts back in the day, but, they could have gotten improved.
It will not be a problem.
Good. That being said, if our stuff is sorted out, then we have all the time
This
to
is
deliver.
The deal. We will go. I will meet my mother. I will see that she is safe. If she is not safe, we will take her with us, bring her somewhere safe. Then I will go to Oomb.
I mean, really, that's pretty much.
Yeah, that's all we wanted. I mean, that's all that I wanted. At least I won't speak for anybody else, but...
Quick question for you, though, Prime. Deception. Do you do it? Yes or no?
No.
Fantastic. Then I believe him.
But there's this weird, he's not really capable of smiling, but there's something there that you think that is an obvious deception.
Well, if you are lying, then you are lying. And we're just going to have to go at it from there.
I am capable of it. I can be very persuasive. I've been programmed to be disarming to organics. I'm told I'm very personable.
Okay, well,
You agree?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. I very well could see that you have the ability to disarm almost any humanoid.
Ha!
Good. Good. I did not know how you were going to take that joke. I really didn't know. But I'm glad you took it as humor. Good.
Disarm. I see.
Yes,
Yes. Separating
Right
the arm
off.
from the body. Yes.
Yes, like a Wookiee.
Through violence.
Like a Wookiee. Yes.
I understand.
Right. Okay, good. You should never do stand-up comedy.
I'm not programmed for it.
No, I can tell. Are we there yet? Everyone is getting awkward. And I'll just kind of stare ahead, but I don't know when I would notice the change.
Yeah, so you go.
I was just gonna say, I think this is when Keitra would go to the lavatory area of the ship, which I assume is just like that open shower,
Yeah.
bath area. So she just opens the door, it slides open. She looks in there to see if he's in there.
Yeah. He's like leaning over the sink, and he's like splashing some water into his face as you come in. Hi.
And she just kind of lets out a sigh of relief, like, okay, one thing down. Okay. Oh, good. I found you. I was worried. You doing all right?
Yeah.
Seem a little green.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot to take in.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get that. So in the meantime, we really, we just want to make sure that everyone's okay, and until we actually get to skip one, if you don't mind just staying in the rec area, we'd appreciate it.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, I can skip one.
Yep.
Isn't that where? Oh God.
Yeah, it's a port. It's a
Gangs,
port.
Smugglers.
Yeah, but we're not going anywhere near that. We just have to make a stop. Change out some fuel cells and.
God. Oh no. Oh no.
It's great. We'll put you on a train. No. We're a delivery. What
are you, Black Sun?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. I mean, look how low outfit this is. Do you think the Black Sun deals with this level of? I mean, this thing. Barely runs.
No. I just want to go home, but I can't now. You killed people.
Well, yeah, maimed, more like maimed, but yeah. So once we get to skip one, I'm gonna put you on a transport ship. I'm gonna get you a new identity. Is there a name? What is your name, by the way? I don't even know what your name is.
Lursk.
Or that's a horrible. It doesn't matter. We'll get you another name, and you know what? You can. Here's your second chance. Second chance to start. Not many people get a second chance, especially out here in the Outer Rim. But lucky you.
Okay.
We came along, and
yeah,
here you are.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Oh. Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
I'll figure it out. Okay, rec area. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I can do it. Yep.
And she just kind of like pats him on the back, like you're gonna do okay.
And then there's like a doom, 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 as you like translate back into real space. And he's like, "Oh God, what? Ah, what's happening?" And they start shouting.
We're just coming out of hyperspace. Calm down.
Kishal, if you're like off looking for this woman, like come to the cargo area and you can see that she's like on top of one of the crates and she's like in it, like looking for stuff, just like searching. You don't really have any cargo on board, but she's just like searching, not like super frantically. She's not like throwing things out, but she's like in it and looking around. And then she like hears the of the door, and stops, and then climbs into the crate. And like pops her head up. It's sort of comical, but you think it's also quite clever. Like if you were going to shoot her, she would have some cover.
Yeah, he's got this smile on his face, but it's just like it's definitely askew. He kind of taps the metal of the bulkhead of the ship with the end of his blaster rifle. He goes, "You find what you're looking for up there?"
No, not really.
It'd be a lot easier if why don't you just come down?
You gonna shoot me?
No. He's like, no, he's got the blaster. He goes, no, of course not. You can trust me.
I was looking for a communicator. I want to make sure that there are people there.
Well, I think we're friends. We're friends, right? Oh, I didn't even tell you my name. I'm Kishal. Come on down. We'll talk this out. We'll go talk to the captain. She's a really really good girl, really got a good head on her shoulders. We'll get you to a communicator, and you can talk to who you got to talk to. How's that sound?
That sounds real good. Yeah. Okay. I don't believe you, though.
I think Kishal has his feigns this really like hurt look on his face.
She is looking at you and she says, "You don't seem the type to this. You seem like a shoot first, ask questions later type person. I've met plenty of you in my line of work, and I know your job and what you do, and it's make problems disappear, and I'm a problem. I'm looking around in your cargo hold. I get it. You want to kill me. I don't want to get out of the
No, you got it all wrong. See, if I was going to kill you, we wouldn't even be having this conversation on this ship, because I would have killed you back on that piece of shit planet that we were on. But clearly you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Captain seems to be okay with it. I mean, you're going to have to maybe pull some weight. So you get there, and I told him you're good for that 300. So, yeah. And I don't like people making me a liar, but yeah, you're fine. Come on down.
Okay, I'll pay you more.
And he's a little bit curious, like where she's going with this.
You've seen me do some suspicious things. I understand that. I'd rather that didn't go anywhere. I'd rather you didn't kill me. So when we get there, I'll pay you an extra 600. If it stays between me and you get me a communicator.
It's hard for me to make
It's
hard for me to make a deal with someone that's sitting up there, hunkered down in an empty cargo crate.
I totally
thinking
get it.
that I'm going to shoot her. Makes me feel like that kind of hurts my feeling.
All right, I'll show you. And she lifts this up, and there's like a black sun tattooed up here on her upper forearm. I'm good for it. The money is not a problem.
I think that he would say, "Oh," and he would slide one of the cuffs down of his and show her the exact same tattoo. I thought I liked you.
She lets out a sigh and gets out of the crate and walks over. I really thought you were going to kill me.
No.
What are you doing with these?
Kind of throws an arm around her. He says, we all got jobs we got to do, right?
Right.
But listen, these guys, I kind of like them. So let's just keep things on the down low. I never found you rooting around in here. I'll sneak you a communicator, but you got to promise me you're not gonna get these guys killed, right?
No, but that droid's a big deal. Yeah,
I know. I'm on a job here, but these guys can't know that.
What are you getting paid?
That's none of your business.
Black Sun will pay you more.
I already owe the Black Sun enough.
Then they might forgive you.
That's what I'm hoping.
All right.
So just play it cool. All right, and we'll get through this. And he gives her one of those smiles that maybe does not necessarily set her at ease. Like maybe this guy's still going to shoot me in the back. But yeah, and then he would bring her out to the rec area. All right, so let me know. I need to remind folks that I am not super keen on Star Wars lore. What is the game that Wookiees rip droids' arms off with? What's it called?
I believe that's called Sabak.
No, Sabak is the card game.
Sabak's
the
card game.
The chess game is something else.
It's hold on, I got it right here actually.
15 fanboys are probably like,
God damn it,
well,
I know. You suck. Get off that game right now.
Oh man, I just had it too.
Anyways, I think Kishal, as they're walking into the rec area, he goes, "All right, who's up for a game of sabak?"
Yeah. Sabak is like a really popular card game. It's like the poker of Star Wars and stuff. And everyone knows how to play.
Yeah.
Oh, Dedrick, yeah. Okay, so you can sit and start playing, and she like shuffles like a Vegas card dealer, just and like deals. And you can sort of do that. In the cockpit, like the ship has come out of hyperspace, and then there's like a, and then you're in hyperspace again.
Shell will just like look over at Cass.
I did not do this. Let me figure out
Shall-
where we are going.
Shell will look over at Prime.
I did not do this.
For once, I believe him. I'm just kidding. I always believe you. And also, I like to make an astrogation check to find out where we're going.
Yes, sir. You can
give me a sec. So let's see. So it's one of these and 3 of these. Ooh, and I get an automatic advantage already.
Very nice. I'll say it's 3 purples.
Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna hate it if I biff this.
You don't.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yep. So you can tell that the trajectory has changed to Akiva, which is like not on the way to where you're going. I'll say. And yeah, there's you like, and with the advantages, you'll see that it was Chip. Like, I think that's like pretty easy to follow. And also the whistle might have given it away. Anything, I don't know. Yeah, 2 advantages is a pretty big deal. So I don't know like what else you would figure out from it. But like, you're heading to Akiva, and like basically coordinates. I guess you know like the routes that you have to take. You'll have to drop out of hyperspace once to change into a different lane in about a day and a half.
Yeah. It would appear that our friendship has already made the decision for us. We are going to Akiva. What do we know?
What we decided
about...
to do anyways, right?
Yes, how convenient. What do we know about Akiva? Is it an Imperial controlled world? Is it not?
What do we know about Akiva? Yeah.
Yeah, you would know a little bit that like it was a droid factory in the Clone Wars era, but since then, not so much. You wouldn't have heard like it's not super well known.
Okay.
It would have been like one of the big droid factories during the Clone Wars.
On the side of the Trade
Confederates.
Federation, I see.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
It's in the same system as like Geonosis and Tatooine and others.
Okay. Oh, we're going way out.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. All right, then.
If you want any more than that, you can do like an outer rim check. Is that a skill? A knowledge skill?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
actually, it's
outer rim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outer rim.
Yeah. I'll make a knowledge outer rim check.
Okay. Yep. I'll just say it's 2.
Okay.
2 purple.
Yeah.
I can do that as well.
Oh yeah.
I got 2 advantages.
I got 2 successes, but 2 threats.
You know something's bad there.
Yeah. Threat is hard for a knowledge check, but you'll know that it's a jungle planet. Like things like main exports are used to be droids, not anymore. The droid factory was built underneath the main city in like these catacombs that go on like tunnels underneath the earth. There's the main city is called Mira. There's about 1 million people that live there. So it's a pretty big, crowded place, and very different to like the verdant jungles of the world. Like this city is crammed and slum like and not so pleasant. It was in the Trade Federation, and then was like defeated basically, and suffered quite a bit of damage, and now it's sort of like it's nominally under Imperial rule, as every world is, you know.
Gotcha.
This is coming into the rec area. I'm coming in with the guard. Kashal's coming in with the woman. I see you found her. Good. This is Griff.
Hey, he says.
Good. Your stomach has been cleansed of all impurities, I hope.
Yeah.
Excellent. I hope you did not make a mess in there. If it is, you are cleaning it. Good news. We are no longer going to skip one.
Oh, that is good news.
With one small exception, though, it appears that our droid had a malfunction, and we are now going to Akiva. Unfortunately, I think it would be a good idea, Shell, if we completely and utterly dismantle Chip until we can find out what is wrong. After all,
wait! I can run a diagnostic on Chip.
No. It's okay. You've done enough. I will take Chip apart piece by piece if I have to. Unfortunately,
I step in front of Chip. I'm like, you will do no such thing.
My hands are a little bit shaky after that last run. I don't know if I'm going to like permanently damage Chip, but I'm sure it'll be fine. We can get another droid. We can always get another droid, right?
It's a pretty serious malfunction. That's
that is. I mean,
both of you. No, you will not touch
would happen?
Chip.
Well, then I don't know what happened. Why would Chip suddenly get us to stop going to skip one and then suddenly go off and go to Akiva? What would happen if we were going on our merry way? Suddenly it stopped and Chip changed direction, flew us right into a star.
Then what? Do that.
Does Kishal see any reaction from the Zabarak woman when they mention Akiva?
Yeah, mostly like annoyance.
Oh, okay. So it matches Kishal then.
Yeah.
He's like, pretty freaking annoying.
Like your impression was like skip one was convenient for her. Like there are Black Zone people there and that was good for her. And now like Akiva is the middle of nowhere. Like it's pretty far out. Chip is like spinning around in a circle and like making like all these like beep boop noises and like whistling and doing the droid scream of like nobody is taking me.
I'm not feeling really immersed here. Can you just really roll?
Yeah. No, there's nothing wrong with Chip. Chip did not have a malfunction.
So what are you saying? Kashal's hand kind of just gently, just very casually rests on the handle of his blaster.
I'm saying that Chip did what he was told to do.
The job was not to go to Akiva. The job was to go retrieve the droid and bring him, her, them, he corrects himself, back to skip one.
Which we will.
Prime and Shell and I have made an arrangement. We made a deal. And I'll kind of look quickly to Prime. You see, what we're going to do is we're going to get Prime to see his mother. Once he knows that she is all right and everything is okay. If she is not, if she's in danger, then we are going to get her onto our ship and we're going to fly back to skip one. Once we fly back to skip one, then we are going to get everything that we need, get Oomb all sorted out one way or another, and then on to the next job. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I heard that the Huts are paying.
I'm not feeling too convinced by that.
No, he's okay. He's okay. You know what? The next job is really easy. I hear that the Huts are paying us big money to steal Rancor balls.
Kishal laughs.
There you go. See, you were laughing. We are all having a good time.
No, I'm only laughing because I am
before?
really angry at myself for not learning to astrogate more effectively.
Look, we could stop the ship, try and turn around, try and astrogate, try and reset everything, but it's going to
No,
take time.
I
It's
don't think we would be able to. I'm sure if you look at the fuel cells, um, we we're gonna have we're gonna have to stay on course at this point.
So you
Good
just
news,
figured
Chip.
that it was okay for you to make that decision on your own without talking to any of us, without making sure that it was okay, without seeing what sort of
Look, Shell, we
consequences
were
that
put in
might
this
have, that you
position
could-
once before by the same person, and we're doing the same thing again. Sure, it's not Twi'leks, it's not some organic life form, but this is a sentient being nonetheless.
If we don't deliver this, we're all dead. Do you not understand that part of this?
We're going to do what we're paid to do. We're just making this stop first, which you said, you and Cass even just said you were going to do this anyway.
That's not the point. The point is you don't get to make the decisions for the crew on your own. People need to be in the know about these things.
Well,
Whether or not that we would agree with you or not, that doesn't matter.
She is the captain, Shell. So captains usually make the decisions.
Shut up.
Whoa. That is a backbone growing on you. I like it. And he does. He is quiet.
So, Prime, tell me more about this rigid hierarchy that you used to have, because I'm thinking maybe it's not a bad idea. Like, what? I mean, was it like, did you just fight?
It is usual for vessels like this to have a strict hierarchy. Most military vessels certainly would have a clear chain of command so that decisions are made from the top and that everyone knows what their directive is.
Okay, great. Shell, you want to be the captain? Fine. Then be the captain, make the calls, and let's just get this over with. And
I'm not saying any one person has to be top dog, but people need to know what's going on. The problem isn't that you made a decision or that you had an opinion. The problem is you didn't tell anybody and you plotted the course anyways.
I think
what's the name? We need to know.
What's the name
That's
of the?
what I'm trying to say.
Oh, sorry. What's the name of the Zabrak woman?
Oh,
she didn't say it.
Oh, okay. I thought I had asked her, but maybe she didn't tell the answer. I think Kishal looks at her and he goes, "Correction. We have a new captain." Yeah, and he looks at Shell,
looking between, and like I think her, or you would see her like computing like this is not some hotshot crew of like bounty hunters or whatever. Like, how did they steal this very valuable droid? Is like she's looking at you guys like this must have been a lot of luck.
I think Kishal's thinking that too.
I mean, yeah.
We're all thinking that, in and out of character. Like, how did this even work out? Why did this work out? Whatever.
Hell accounts, it really doesn't make sense.
All right, well, I'll tell you what then. Look, we can yell at each other all we want. It's a thing that already happened that is now in the past. But fortunately, time moves linearly in one direction. So let's just move on ahead. Things did happen. I'm going to be over there while Chip navigates the ship. And then I'm going to be working on a blaster pistol that I picked up from two morons. So you do your thing, and I'm going to do my thing, and we're all just going to relax. And then we're just going to take this as it comes. We're going to go rescue his mother, which I never thought I would say in my entire life. We're going to go back to Skip 1. We're going to get this all sorted out. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll try and see if I can start repairing this junk. So let's just all take a deep breath. And, excuse me, and I kind of point at the Zabrak woman. Sorry, we have not been formally introduced. My name is Cassian Vex. And you?
Scenario.
Huh. Like SEN? And you know what? It's okay. It's okay. You know, I think that's the player's oath is to misspell every name that the GM gives out. Well, it is nice to meet you, Scenario.
Yeah, real pleasure.
Welcome to the ship. Don't worry. This is really my first time on the ship, but I think we all
Or any
just...
ship, it seems.
Well, no, not really. Well, yes, okay, yes, really. But I've flown a lot of simulators.
Right. That's comforting.
I'm very good at fixing guns, though.
Prime, we were about to play some sabak. Have you ever played before?
No. What is it?
Well, sit down. There's always the now to learn. And probably two hands, you'll be beating us every time.
He like sits in a chair and it like bends a little bit from how heavy he is. And then like he like watches a hand. And you can like almost hear like the of like processing. And then like pretty quickly picks up the game. He's bad at the lying part or any sort of like the bluffing part, but he's exceptionally good at the card counting part of Sabak. And so it's pretty quickly he's just like winning immediately and consistently.
Yeah, I'd say Keitra just kind of grabs Kashal's arm, and while they're kind of just close to each other, she looks him in the eye and says, I don't trust that woman. She's hiding something. Keep an eye on her. Don't let her out of your sight.
I think he would just say, "Aren't we all?" And then he gives a nod when she says to keep an eye on her. I'll actually most of the time I'll keep both.
Right.
Okay, so I would say let's take a quick break here, and then we'll go to the planet and see what happens with this incredibly complex and convoluted situation. All right, we'll be back in a few. All right. So you are approaching Akiva. You've exited hyperspace, and you're now kind of flying into the atmosphere itself. It's a jungle planet, and as you like break through the clouds, there's like this insane heavy rain that falls. And you like fly over these jungles, and they're pretty pristine, actually, most of them. And like there's sparkling rivers and these herds of like gigantic creatures moving through the jungle. And before you make your approach to Mira, which is the main city on the planet, it is not beautiful. It was, you think, it was designed in mind of like using the jungle to sort of like make the city feel more local and like a part of the jungle. And so like a lot of the buildings would have had like greenery on them and like used that sort of thing in the design of the place. But like it's clearly been fallen pretty badly into disrepair, and like there are several huge sort of like hab blocks that would have had at one time like beautiful sort of greenery and parks, and like there are bridges going between them at various levels and things, in a typical Star Wars way, like these very thin bridges that stretch over a gigantic drop and no rails in sight. But now everything's like a little bit dirty. All the buildings were white. They're not now. They're like a sort of dirty yellow. And like a lot of the greenery has grown out of control. And you kind of make your way towards the address that Prime had given. As you like are making your way here, you can land on a landing platform about halfway up this like huge tower. A hab block. You think there's probably like 5,000 people living in this building. It's like a square with a square cut out of the center with a space. And yeah, so you can land on this landing platform that's a little bit creaky, even maybe when you like land on it. And this huge like block of a building that like maybe once was beautiful, definitely not anymore, lies before you. And there are like some people, some like teenagers like playing or like hanging out on the sort of outside part just before it becomes a landing dock, and like seeing you, one of them runs inside.
Well, this isn't problematic at all. Prime, I was thinking that perhaps it would be beneficial if you stayed here. We went and got Dr. Noor, brought her aboard, and then you two can meet.
I don't think so.
Okay, but here's the thing, and I just need you to understand this is very important. This is not some sort of subterfuge on our part, but understand this, is that we did break you out, as much as we broke you out of anything, of an Imperial-controlled prison. And the mere fact that you are going to be walking around, I'm sure that many Imperial troops have gotten wind of the fact that you are out and walking around, and probably need to be taken back into custody.
I will disguise myself.
You can do that.
Yes.
Okay, that was more of a rhetorical question, but all right, no, okay, great. If you can do that, then do the thing that you do.
I require an image, a person.
I think Kishal grabs stowaway or kidnapped guard, holds him up. How's this?
Acceptable. He like takes a step forward, and like puts a hand on the shoulder, and there's like of like a needle or something, and then pulls back, and then the faceplates will like move in various ways that like you hadn't seen previously, and like will approximate a sort of like, if you were looking at a distance, like a human face, as opposed to the one that he had previously had on. And you think he's been capable of doing this, but didn't want to like impose on anyone's individuality, and so like the faceplates kind of move a little bit, and he has like a nose and some eyes and whatever. I will require a garment of some kind. A cloak, perhaps.
I don't know. Do we have anything like that?
For sure.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's like a big shit. You
Yeah.
have a blanket or something. He'll like wrap that around himself, and it'll look like a poncho. And like he doesn't look super like a person, but he also doesn't look like some sort of like insane death droid.
Oh, good.
Like it's not perfect in any sort of way. It's not like he's like chameleon shifting into a person, but it's an approximation that like from a distance would look, reasonable.
All right then. And this block is where she lives, yes?
Yes, Hab Block 401.
All right.
29-503, 29th floor.
I'm going to make sure my heavy blaster pistol is strapped up. I'm going to grab any spare gas canisters to any reloads and basically arm myself as if I'm going into a big firefight, because we're probably going into a big firefight.
Okay. Did you want to do a mechanics check in your downtime to fix that? Because you would have been traveling for like over a day.
Yep. So here's what I want to do.
Okay. Oh boy.
You're like, oh boy. I want this to be a trapped pistol, so that the minute someone grabs it and uses it, it kind of detonates.
Oh yeah. Okay. Like a gene lock type thing.
Like exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that it sort of reads your hand or whatever, and knows that you're acceptable, and then like gives a green light, and if it's somebody else, then there's like a bleep, bleep, bleep.
Yeah, kind of like Blade's sword.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I think that's actually like an actual modification you can make, right?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if that would be, but this is like not the really like fancy version, just kind of like a really like this is a one-time use kind of a thing, just in case, and I'm gonna have it kind of strapped to my thigh in a more like, hey, look at this, as opposed to the heavy blaster pistol that I'm going to kind of have tucked and kind of hidden away.
Okay, sure. So I'll say it's a mechanics check, and I'll say it's difficulty 3 check.
Okay. And
you'll probably have to spend some credits or something for material parts. Actually, no, you bought several shitty guns, and you could strip those, I think.
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I'm just going to quickly I think I add 2 blue because it's the blaster. Okay.
Wow. Okay. So you definitely mod the shit out of it. It's definitely going to explode, but I will say that the threat is something that is not quite clear to you at the moment.
I love that.
Okay. All right. So strapped up and ready to go. You can make your way off the landing platform and into the place itself. And it's sort of like
real quick, Lloyd. Sorry, just to like further complicate your job. But Kishel is definitely going to grab a quick moment as they're kind of like landing. It's going to give that look to the Zabrak. And when he has a quick moment, he's going to say, once we land and get off the ship, in that confusion, that's going to be your chance to get to a communicator.
Yeah, she nods. All right, be safe. As you like walk off and into the actual complex, it's like a skyscraper, like a huge hab block, like a sort of hollow square or like circle or something like that. So like this, so you can like see all the way down and up. It's not clean in any sort of sense, and like a second you get in there, there's like a stench, and like it's sort of like this square. And as you're walking around, there are apartments on either side, and there's like a lot of people just like out in the hallway. There's like a stink of death stick smoke and like weird food being cooked, and there's people everywhere, and like kids running around playing, and like dodgy looking dudes like standing with their arms crossed and like tattoos on their arms, like smoking a death stick, like watching you as you walk by. all this sort of thing. Looks like you're on like the 50-something floor, thereabouts, and so you need to go down, basically. And so it's a bit of a walk. You could try and find an elevator if you were that way inclined. Although, looking at the state of the place, you think it's unlikely that anything works. So yeah, walking around, you maybe like 15 minutes into the walk, you're like searching, and like you found your way down to some stairs and like down several floors. And as you like are on the landing of one of the floors, you can hear some shouting, and then like a toom toom of like a blaster fire. And Prime looks concerned, like looks in that direction, and then back to you. Should we help?
Our main goal, our main objective is to get you to Dr. Nor, excuse me. And the quicker we do that, the better. Because we don't know if we intercede in that, there'll be some unintended side effects, generally involving death and dismemberment. Possibly some of us, maybe some of them, who knows. But let's continue on with our primary objective.
I see. Agreed. And he'll start walking further down the stairs. Eventually you'll come to the 29th floor and you're walking, sort of like searching for this particular like spire that breaks off. You imagine lots of like long corridors, like a central circle, and then lots of long corridors going out from there where you have the various apartments and things. And so as you're like walking, you can hear again this like noise, a different noise, but it's definitely like people shouting, and like there's like some sort of commotion happening, and you hear like, if you can't pay, then you're going in the hole.
I think we are being introduced to the hierarchy of this building.
We can help it. I'd prefer not to be introduced, actually.
I would agree. Is it coming from the direction that is Dr. Nor's apartment?
In that direction, yeah. You're not quite there yet, but yeah. It's like in the way that you're going.
I think Kishal puts his heavy blaster on stun.
That's incredibly magnanimous of you. Like, really? I'm gonna unhook my my heavy blaster pistol, so I can quick draw it if need be, with my faux Jedi power.
Okay, so you continue then onwards. There's like lizards all over the place and insects and stuff, and like plants growing out of like concrete, and that kind of thing. It's like incredibly run down. And then you can hear like, we told you before, you don't pay, you don't get to live here or anywhere. Where's the rent? And you hear like somebody shouting back like, I don't have it, I can't. And then like a couple of moments later, you see like someone being dragged by like a pretty big dude, sort of like dragged across. So if you imagine like you're looking straight ahead, to the right is where the apartments are, like dragged across and then brought to like the edge, this like open edge that like will drop down about 29 floors, and like holds them over the edge. Where's the money? Where's the money?
I think Kishal asks Prime, is that your mother?
No. Okay, yeah, they let go, and the person's like, wah, splat. And then they like wander back into that area, and there's like a doom, 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 doom. And then there's like the same conversation, like, where's the rent? And you hear, I paid my rent already to another man like you. I won't pay it again. And Prime's eyes light up. Mother.
Well then, it seems that it is showtime.
He starts walking to like the end of the corridor, and you can see that there's like a whole bunch of dudes down there. There's like 6 dudes, 7 dudes, and they're like banging on the door, and you can see that like there's like a knocked out guy on the ground, and they're clearly just like shaking down all these people. But like at that one, the guy has like his hand clearly like grabbing someone on the other side of this door. He says, "Too bad, lady. You got to pay me too. I'm going to throw you in the pit." And he like grabs her and pulls her out of the doorway. And Prime like flicks up a bit of broken concrete and then like flicks it across, and it like kills the guy. He like runs forward immediately and like skids to a halt in front of her, and they are all like, "What the fuck?" And then start like trying to fire with shitty blasters and like hit him with whatever they've got. And this is the point where we would roll initiative.
So then now, would you say that this would be vigilance? Because that was kind of a surprise. We're fighting now.
I would say that you can roll cool if you want to, because you were prepared for trouble. You weren't prepared for this very second, but I think you were ready for things to go down.
Yeah, we did all like explicitly say that we had our weapons like ready and we were watching. So yeah. Wow. Those 4 greens coming in clutch.
Wow,
So this is my second session. I still have no idea when I look at the initiative rolls. I'm like, I don't know if they're good or bad, but I'm just gonna follow the lead.
Look at Shell is on the ball.
Big time, yeah.
Dang.
All these people, both
Dude's-
in and out of character, talking shit on Shell's.
Dude's got
game.
some survival skills, man.
He knows what's up.
Okay, sorry. It takes me a long time to figure out initiative in this game. It's not quite as intuitive. Hey, nice roll, bad guys. Okay, so there are 7 of them in the hallway. Well, 6 now. After the very quick assassination. Shell, you're first. You can see like they've all kind of like turned to look. It's happened so quickly. Like the cement was like flicked. This like little shard of cement flicked and like went in one side of the guy's head and out the other, and he just like stumbled to the ground and then fell dead. And they all went like, "What even happened?" And then like turned to see, and like Prime is already in there, and he's like standing in front of this woman in the doorway, basically. And they're all like, some of them are just like getting weapons at this stage because it's happened so quickly. And it's up to you.
Yeah, Shell has a similar sort of reaction of like, wow, yeah, okay, yep, this guy is serious business. And that we're all very lucky to be alive and that he's so benevolent. But then seeing them all bring guns up, he'll know that if any of those bullets go past Prime and hit this person, that like everyone here, including us, is probably going to die. And we'll take aim at whoever as seems the most weapon in hands towards them
Okay.
with his own blaster and take a shot.
Yep, there's one that you think looks like he's in charge. He's like slightly bigger than the rest, and he's got like a shock staff.
Alright, yeah, I'll go for him, and I'll take maneuver to aim as well.
Okay. Yep. So it's just 2 purples.
Alrighty. Bam.
Oh, damn. Okay, so that's...
Alrighty, and my gun is 6 damage base.
Okay, so you're looking at 8. Does it have any pierce or anything?
No.
Okay.
This is straight up.
All right, so you fire and it like catches this guy in the shoulder, and he's like spun around and onto the ground from the shot. Okay, Prime is going to lash out with his hand at the closest dude. Oh my god.
Well, then it's a good thing he's on. Oh my God, it's a good thing he's on our side. Jeez.
Yeah. Okay. So one of these two dudes who are like who were standing right behind the guy who was at the door, Prime like reaches out with the hand to like grab at his throat, and then just like and like flicks him to the ground. And then Kish, it's your turn.
All right.
So I guess it doesn't. I probably don't even have to say this, but the minute that piece of tile flies through the air and kills this dude, you hear the click as Kishel switches his heavy blaster from stun to the true purpose of the weapon, and that is to kill people. And so the nearest guy that's going to try to harm this robot, which probably could kill all these guys by itself, he blasts. All right. So is that? Oh wait. So there's the aim thing. What's that?
So you can take
If I don't move or anything, I can aim.
Yep. So you get a free maneuver every turn, which you can use to like move or aim or do other sort of things. And then if you wanted to, you can pay 2 stress to use an additional maneuver. So basically, if you don't move, you can aim for free.
Which adds a blue die to your check.
Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's just going to lay into it, and it's two
purple.
2 purple. And the blue die is what?
It's a boost. So that's for aiming. It's basically like a little dice size. So all of the top row are positive, like helpful. Oh my god!
Holy crap! I crit.
Yeah, you did.
That's a crit.
Okay, are you shooting
That's
the same
gonna
guy
get you
as
a couple extra.
as Shell or one of the other
What?
dudes?
And take his kill? I would never do that. That is not honorable.
All right. So what's the damage of your weapon?
9.
Jesus. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. And what's the crit rating?
3.
3. Okay. And you got. So you're basically going to roll a percentile with plus 20.
Ooh.
Can't remember if it was you, but did you say your weapon has vicious too, Lionel?
No.
That'll add.
Nope.
I remember somebody did, but I didn't remember if it was you or not.
All right, so I just roll this.
You can use those extra advantages
99.
beyond the crit to add extra points to the crit rating, I think.
Yeah, he's adding 20.
Plus 20.
20.
Plus 20, yeah.
So
Which is
99.
dope.
Oh, you rolled
99.
79.
That'll-
Okay.
99, which that'll be a good one.
That will be a good one. I'm trying to find the table.
I think it's a maiming. Been a while since I looked at that crit chart.
99 is crippled. One of the target's limbs is crippled until healed or replaced. Okay. So you blast his leg out from under him. He's like standing there and he's like trying to pull a like stun baton from his hip, and he's like raising it as if to like strike at Prime, and then it's like and like fire through the knee and out the other side, and just like and he like stumbles onto the ground in pain.
Those adventuring days are over.
Yes, most certainly. Okay, this one and this one. Okay, okay, the bad guys. So one of these guys is going to. Okay, yeah. He's gonna pull a pistol and he's gonna shoot in your direction, Kish. So one.
Real quick, should we reset our wounds and strain from the last fight? Would that journey have been long enough to do that, or no?
It was. You can reset your wounds. It would have been like at least 2 days. Okay, he fires and he does not hit. So he just like fires in your direction, like he's like holding the gun sideways. Not a marksman in any sort of notable
amateur.
capacity. Yep. So he just like fires a bunch of shots, and you think like a lesser Combatant might like duck and try and hide, but you can see that he's nowhere near you, and so you don't even flinch. Okay, Cassian.
All right. I'm gonna take aim at that guy who just shot at Kishal, and I'm gonna shoot him right back. What will be the difficulty on that?
2 purple.
Cool.
All right, that's another hit. What is
Dang.
the damage?
Critical rating's 3, so that'll be 8 damage.
Absolutely murder him. Yeah, so the heavy blaster pistol really has some kick, and like fires and hits him like in the shoulder and out the other side, and he just like stumbles onto the ground. Okay, the next bad guy is going to try and just shoot in you guys' general direction. He'll aim for Kish and does not hit. He like fires near you a few times. I'm going to say he's going to get 1 defense from like whoever shoots him next, from you guys having to actually flinch out of the way. Okay, and then the guy with the staff. God, I don't know, man. I feel like you just run. He's going to try and swing for Prime. Let's see. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Alright, he does not get anywhere near him. So he like swings and like totally misses. Or like Prime moves in a way, or like catches the staff or something like that. It's just nowhere near. Okay, and then it is the next bad guys. Kidra, you're at the very end of this list. I apologize. And they're going to shoot at Prime. Oh, I didn't add. No, that's incorrect. I forgot about all the stupid dice. Yeah, that makes more sense. So they like fire towards him, and it's just like there is a hit, you think, but it's just like he's not made of skin, and so there's like a dull sort of thud as it connects. And then Kidra, your turn.
All right. And is the woman, is she in like is she just like right behind Prime? Like she's
Yeah,
in
so
the
you're looking down the hall,
Mm-hmm.
and like he's in the doorway to her apartment, and she's behind him inside the apartment.
Oh, okay. Okay, so she's pretty much covered.
Yeah, that was the first thing he did, was like run up and protect her.
Okay, got it. Yeah. Is there any cover in this hallway for us?
There's like broken down bits of cement and stuff, or you could like hide behind one of the open one of the other doors and like hide behind that.
Okay. Yeah, I think because she's just holding like a stun blaster, so it's so yeah, I think she's just
you're at the end of the corridor, so if you wanted to, you could duck behind the corner, before you turn into the corridor.
Yeah, I think she would just take cover at this point.
Okay, and not shoot.
No, because she just recently learned how to shoot a pistol, so I don't think she's gonna chance it.
Okay, no problem. All right, Shell.
So the person that Shell shot is the one who stood up and tried to hit this thing with the staff.
Yes. Yeah.
Alrighty. With his back turned still to me, then I'm gonna just take another shot. We'll take aim. Purple. Bam! Another shot.
All right, and it's 7 damage. This
That'll
time.
be 7 total. Yep.
Okay, still going. Been shot again. But he's wearing like some pretty heavy clothing, and you think maybe some of those are like reinforced with some metal underneath.
Ready. And then I do have 2 advantages there too. I don't know what we want to do with
Yes.
those.
That's a good question. Should have that thing open. That very useful document that I always intend to open at the start of these games and never do. What do we think? Something advantageous here.
I would think like the next attack on that target should get something.
Okay. Yep. So I'll add 2 boosts onto the next attack against. this dude. Okay, so then it's it's Prime, so he's gonna attack this guy. Okay, yeah, so he's gonna kill him. It's like an assassin droid. It feels really like cheesy, but I don't know. Like these guys shouldn't be fighting him. Yeah, so he like reaches out. He's got like his hands are made of iron or some sort of like alloy, and he like reaches out and like slashes at the guy, and he falls down. There's only 2 dudes left, and I think they're going to try and run at this stage. So if you want to let them go, you can. Otherwise, you can all take a shot, but they're going to run.
Kishal's shooting these guys.
Okay, go for it.
All right. Boom. It's 2 purple still.
Yeah.
And he is going to aim because he wants to get this guy right between the shoulder blades. Bam. No.
Just advantage. So maybe he trips and falls. You like shoot right in front of him, and he like jumps out of the way and like stumbles and falls down.
Right. So I have this ability. It's called sidestep. I'm not quite sure what it means, so I'm just going to read it out loud, and I'm figuring you guys could tell me how I might be able to use it mechanically in the game.
Sure.
It's called sidestep. Once per round, you may perform sidestep maneuver and suffer a number of strain equal to the per upgrade of all incoming range attacks by an equal number of the next round strain suffered this way.
Okay, so I think what it is likely that you can make attacks against you harder based on the number of.
But I take strain based on
Yep. So like so you probably have 1 level of it. Maybe you have 2.
Yeah, I just have 1.
Yep. So you can spend up to 1 strain to upgrade up to 1 dice against you when someone shoots you.
And I'll take 1 strain every time I do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would
Good.
be my guess.
And I forgot that I had point blank last round, and I actually did 1 more point of damage, but that's my own fault. I'll learn my character, guys. I promise.
No worries. All good.
But I think Kishal is going to start moving more closer to Prime, and his blaster is still up, so he's hoping to still put these guys down. He probably even looks at the others of the crew and says, "These guys can't get away. They're just going to bring back more."
All right, I'll take a shot at one. Why the heck not?
Okay, go for it. You can have 2 boosts since that guy like got knocked down by Kish's shot.
Sure. And I'll aim. Might as well use a free action and aim. So what would that be, like 3?
That'd be 3 boosts in total, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
you tell me.
So he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I think it was one of those things where he trips and falls. Like the shot goes over, and he kind of breathes a sigh of relief. And as soon as he gets up, like the shot just goes right in through the back of the head, and just.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's dead. There's another one who's like trying to get away, but I think like between like 3 of you shooting him, I don't see how it's reasonable that he would like escape. So you can just like randomly fire down this hallway, and eventually he will hit the ground. And then it's quiet.
I think while they're like shooting down the hallway, Kitru staying low but and like next to the wall, she would make her way to that door, just see if she can see Dr. Noor and see if she's okay.
Yeah, she's like standing behind Prime, and you can see like he is watching to see if anyone else is coming. Sort of, there's a very different energy about Prime now. Like it's that sort of like polite, bumbling sort of droid, like protocol droid thing is gone, and it's like all action. And he even doesn't move the same way. Like it's all very like extremely exact and precise in a way that it wasn't before.
Dr. Noor. My name is Kitro, and um, look, we could do introductions and explain everything later. Right now, we need to get you to
Come
our
in.
ship, and we need to get out of here.
What? Okay, I live here. What?
This is Prime. Do you recognize
Yes.
this droid that you created? This droid? Okay. His directive was to come and get you, and that's what we're here to do. We need you to come with us now. They're gonna come. There will be more men later, so you can either stay here.
Okay, yeah, I have to grab some things.
Okay. Yeah. What do you need? I can help you.
Yeah, she like literally like clothes and that kind of stuff. It's like just boring shit. You can help her do that.
Yeah, I just
in the,
like throwing
in
stuff.
In the meantime, Shell is going to start going through people's bodies, these 6 that we've killed, and to grab any stuff off of them that we can salvage.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
while,
think Kishel's
while
gonna do the
Shell,
same thing.
while Shell is, or while they're both doing that, I'll cover down the hallway. So basically, as soon as someone that looks like they're going to start something comes around, I'm
Yeah.
shooting them.
Okay. Sure. So because you killed them all, you think it'll be a while before a response comes, which was wise. Inside, she's like grabbing things here and there, and like clothes, and then like underneath one of the sofas, like pulls up a floorboard and pulls out some credits, and things like that, and is just like shoving everything she can into like this bag, and like Prime is like walking around in here, like looking at it, like he's pretty unimpressed that she's living in this place. It's awful. Like it's clean for what it is, but it's squalor. And he like walks to the shelf where there are like many books, and like picks up a few of them and like some through them, and like puts them back. And he grabs 2 and takes them with him. And then when the bag is ready, he like takes that and like slings it over his shoulder, and then ready to leave.
As we're leaving, I'm going to take that light blaster pistol that I booby trapped. I'm going to throw it down right on one of the bodies.
Excellent. Yep.
Because it's, yeah. Right, I think it's time that we go. We can do introductions on the ship, but we should go to the ship. Question. Is there a, like, I don't know, gas and go place, quick petrol pump
Yeah, so you
that we could...
You flew basically directly to this place. You didn't go to like a space station or whatever, like a dock. But you could go to one, definitely. It's like a big city. You could go somewhere and fuel up and things like that.
Well, considering that we're pretty much out of the good stuff, yes, I think it would be a great time now to get gas.
Yeah, it was a long ass flight. I don't think I updated the dock yet, but it was a long ass flight. So you're really close to zero, basically, because you flew most of the way across the galaxy. Okay, so yeah, back onto the ship. Like it's a really quick smash and grab here. Like they don't have time to respond or figure anything out in terms of like how quick you've been. So there's not like conveniently anyone waiting at the ship for you. You can get on and take off and start flying towards a fueling station. And like on the ship, she's obviously like confused about what's happening, but trusts Prime, you think, and so like she's standing very close to him all the time, and they're like standing sort of awkwardly in the rec area, like not sure what to do, and he like urges her to sit, and she does, and he like squats next to her, and he's like, he pulls out one of the books that he's taken, he like flicks through it, and he says, "Mother, why is my visage not more prominent in this book of memories? Am I not your firstborn?" And so that kind of thing. And she's like trying to figure out how to answer that. As you like fly towards the fueling station, so you can pay. Gotta figure out. Do you guys have any money?
We were wondering if that siphon that we
Yes.
popped on last session, we were thinking, I think you were out busy making coffee before the session started. We were thinking about using that as our party fund.
Yeah.
I'm using that in serious air quotations because I know that's kind of a thing.
No, I think that's fine. We can like roll 2 percentiles, and you've gained that many credits.
Fair.
Somebody want to roll them?
Anybody feeling lucky?
Sure.
All right, I'll do it. I'll do
Okay,
one.
good.
Want to do the other one?
Sure.
Let's do it. All right. Okay. Okay.
109
Okay.
credits. All right, that'll get you like 3 fuel cells, maybe 4, if you haggle.
Okay. While I imagine, like, once we dock at this port, and me and Cass, the mechanics, connect the various pumps and whatnot to refuel the cells. Keitros, take this moment to talk to Cass. I'm sorry about earlier with the whole navigation bit.
It's all right. I'll tell you what, if it makes you feel better, if you get an idea like that again, I will shoot Chip in front of you. Then I will shoot both your legs, throw you into an airlock, and dump you out into deep space where you will die a brief but horribly painful death. I am also the joke. I am also kidding. I am also kidding. I need to work on my humor. But look, I understand it should have been a thing you were thinking with your heart, and I get it. And I understand where you were coming from. But yeah, for next time, we'll do this together because, like it or not, as messed up as it is, we're some sort of a team. And I have to ask this like a question because we shouldn't work. You know what it is? Have you ever seen a Bothian hummingbird fly? Because it shouldn't fly. The way it's designed and how it has that like cube head, it shouldn't fly, but it flies. You know, Bothui is an interesting sort of a planet. You know, you had asked me once where my mind goes. Why do I think of all these different things to do? I am going to suggest a book to you should read. It is by a Bothan author. Her name is Rashar Nahal, and she created a book. It is called The 12 Rings of Intrigue. Bothans, obviously, as we all know, are known for their spying and intrigue. But read The 12 Rings of Intrigue, and you will find that your mind will begin to go in different ways because you can see more. You can kind of big picture everything, if that makes sense. Certainly, yes. Maybe you saw narrowly. You saw into one ring. But if
I
you
did
expand,
it because Prime reminded me of why I'm doing this now.
why we're refueling the ship?
No.
Really? Because
Why-
it should.
Why we're in this business to begin with. I don't like to talk about my past. Who does, really? But long story short, my parents and I, we were in servitude to the Hutts for a very long time, right after the Imperial army started to expand their galactic influence. And in order to see my parents freed from their servitude, I made a deal with the Black Sun. And although they upheld their end of the bargain, I don't know where my parents are. And they won't let me know where they are until I pay the debt. And seeing Prime and seeing how he was in that awful place for so long, and he only wanted his mother.
I understand what you mean. But if you didn't see, he kicked a little rock and fucking killed a guy. Like, I don't know if you saw that. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. if Prime wanted to, he could tear us into very small yet incredibly bloody chunks and then fly away with his mother, but he doesn't. See, that's the thing, is that Prime has an incredible amount of power. Like a fuel cell that's ready to explode, but for some reason it doesn't, and you don't know why, so you don't question it. Kind of like this ship, actually. And when you look down into it, you will understand, you'll begin to see that appearances are very deceiving. Again, read the book. Read the book. You should read the book. I'm going to probably take this opportunity, since we've got some time to fuel the fuel cells, to see if I can make any like sort of repairs, maybe try and get the fuel lines a bit more efficient. So out of those, hopefully 4 fuel cells that Shell kind of haggled down because he's dope like that, probably like see if I can squeeze as many light years out of.
So currently the ship is in need of about 8 hours of repair. So the more repairs that you do, the more hours that you spend here repairing, the better distance you'll get.
All right. So what does everyone think on that one? 2 hours spent like.
Shell, if you want to make me a negotiate roll as well to see how much you're actually going to get.
I was just gonna ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
Negotiate. I'm good at that.
So it'll just be 2 purples.
Is it 8 hours no matter what, or
No, you can do up to 8 hours. It needs up to 8 hours of repairs, and so you'll get more efficiency out of the ship. The more, it's not.
I was going to say, like, if I help Cass, because I have mechanics as well. I mean, does that just like give him boost to his roll, or cut down some of the time?
Yeah, it would give him a boost, I would say, is what we'll do. Okay, yeah, that's
there you go.
Success with lots of advantage. I'll stretch it to 5 then. You'll talk this guy for the 109 credits that you have.
All right, and
Awesome.
as a group, I mean, would we be cool with spending 2 hours here to get repairs done? Like, it's not much, but at least it's something.
Yeah, I guess it'd be I guess fairly unlikely that the people that we just shot up in that other place could find us. Like,
Super unlikely.
that's my only
Yeah.
worry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that if we spend too much time here, that people start looking around and be like, "Hey, you hear about the crazy robot that just murdered a guy in like half a second?" Which is what we want to avoid.
He kicked a rock and killed a guy.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he has a lot of catching up to do with his mother. So.
Yeah. So but I mean, like 2, or be good with 2.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so I'll take those 2 hours off like the maintenance list.
Do you need me to roll for it?
Yes. So you can increase the effectiveness. So it'll be 2 purples as well. Just straight up mechanics check.
Cool. 2 purples.
And don't forget the boost.
Yeah, the boost, and I get to upgrade it because thankfully our ship is my signature ship.
All right.
Because mechanics.
Oh my god.
Nice.
Okay. Cool.
Holy shit.
That's incredible. So I'm gonna say that in the 2 hours you get 4 hours of work done.
Nice.
Between the 2 of you, and like your intimate knowledge of this particular ship, you're able to you're these fuel lines, they do this particular thing, and like all about it, and so you're like, oh, we just got to take this thing and rejig it over here, and got to take the dorsal flim flam and put it in the wing flang, whatever, like technobabble stuff that you do, and so between the 2 of you, like you're able to like really do a lot of work here, and so like I'll say as well that you can like recover 2 fuel cells, of like. Basically, like siphoning it out of the tank, like sucking it out with your mouth, and then like making your best effort at like salvaging. So you're currently sitting then at 7 fuel cells.
Nice. Cool. Dad mechanics though.
Yeah, great. Okay, yeah. So the 2 hours will go by, and then like nobody shady comes by. There's no like Imperial Star Destroyer that like into space above you. You have to spend some time with like the slimy Aqualish like fuel cell operator, but other than that, it's pretty handy all around, and you can take off those 2 hours later with like a much cleaner and more efficient engine and ship.
I like to think I even fixed that infernal squeak in the co-pilot's chair.
It's really the most important thing that you could have done.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone can recover strain if they need to.
It would drive you insane if you only had one place that you could be and it was a squeaky chair.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so off into space and then over to skip 1. That again would be like quite a journey at this stage. You're like in the very southern. You can't use south, but like if you're looking at a map of the galaxy and it's flat, like the southern quadrant of the galaxy, and you're going like to like near Corellia, that sort of area. So like all the way across. So it'll be like a day and a half basically in transit in hyperspace. You'll be able to get on a hyperspace lane and get there. And because hyperspace is pretty safe, like no one can pull you out of it that you know of.
I think during that time, I would probably ask if anyone wanted their blasters fixed or, toyed with or checked out, just to be on the safe side, make sure they're running well.
I think also in that time, Keitra would drum up some fake credentials for Griff, our stowaway guard.
Okay. Definitely. Yeah, he's keen for that.
Ooh. Give him the death penalty in 12 systems.
No, don't do that, please.
No, you should. It would be great. It would be funny. No, we're not going to do.
He's like laughing and he's like looking at you, Keitra, like, please don't do that. As you're like hanging around, you can hear like another conversation between Prime and his mother where he's like, you seem to favor images of this humanoid in a larval stage. He is small and weak and his intellect is likely far less than my own. Why does he receive favor? And she's like, that's my son when he was a child, and those were happier times. And so she's like trying to explain to him like why he's not in the photo book, and he's like desperate to be in there. But yeah, they seem to have like a lot of time together, and he returns very quickly to the sort of curious, polite sort of version that you had met before. And yeah, like nothing's going to hassle you in hyperspace, and so you can get to skip 1. And just like before, you like exit like into an asteroid field, which is always the case here. And so like there are like all these micro sort of like of like little asteroids, but then you can like find a route throughout to get to the actual station. And again, they have like gunships and stuff positioned so they can like blast apart asteroids that are like really in the way or whatever to keep that path open. And you can get there and arrive, and you don't have to go through the same rigmarole with these dudes, these like Duros who like are guarding the gate, like you did last time, and can make your way to Oomb.
Yeah, I'd give Griff his new credentials, and I'd let him know that I secured him passage on a transport ship to a very quiet, another farming planet or something, so he could be
probably Chandrilia. That would probably be my take him to Chandrilia. He's gonna love it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, but listen, I am asking you this nicely. Please do not tell anyone of anything that happened, because I know it may seem like we are hard and dangerous killers, and I mostly point to Kashal. Actually, I only point to Kashal. But to be truthful, I am not a fan of organic substances that leak from everything. So I am asking you as a favor, please don't make me cut out your tongue, because that would be really awkward if I had to do that, if you started telling people, and then I'd had to...
Anybody. If I tell anybody, then I'm implicated. Like, I was a guard in the Imperial compound. I would be in more trouble than you.
Oh, that's a very good point. Okay, then consider yourself in a new life. I hope you do very well for yourself.
Thanks.
If you ever feel like going to adventure, you should join the rebellion. I hear they're fighting the Imperials. Wouldn't that be coincidental or even ironic?
Yeah, some chance. And then there's like a little bit of like.
And that man's name was actually Pawkins.
Okay, so do you want to say anything to Prime and the mother before you like go to Oomb?
I would probably ask Prime to come with. I would probably ask Dr. Nor to stay out of her own safety.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if things go sideways, then she's one less person that we have to worry about, especially if Oombs starts getting a little bit nonsensical, especially about her pay.
What about this Spock woman?
What's a black woman?
Sorry, the what?
Oh, the
Or not
Zabraki.
woman. Sorry.
What's a black woman?
I'm like the
You landed right on
Yeah.
skip one.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was going to ask.
What's a
Where?
black woman? Oh, she's gone.
nice.
Like the
Yeah.
wind. Okay.
Like a
I'm just gonna say.
fucking-
I mean, I'm just saying. We saw her like just exit off the ship. Kind of.
Yeah, well, I imagine like you would have come off onto the because it's like this huge hangar dock or whatever. I'll give you a chance, Kishal, if you wanted to stop her from fleeing, to do that. But she would be making her way away from you guys as quickly as possible.
Make
Yeah.
my way downtown.
Did we know that she was gonna pay us, or she only
I
told?
think Kishal had said
Kashal had mentioned it.
Y'all told us
300.
Okay.
300.
that. Right.
So
So yeah, I think he would catch her real quick. But it probably wouldn't be when they landed. It would be sometime during the trip when he would get a quiet moment with her, and he would say, "Did you hold down the ship okay when we were getting Prime's mother?"
Managed just fine. Didn't take off.
Yeah, well, there's that. I half expected you to try to pilot the ship on your own, but
Yeah, I thought about it.
you got what you needed to get done.
Yep.
Good. Pretty interesting creature, that Prime, huh?
Not a creature. It's an object.
I was being nice. Man, Black Sun's got their hands on that.
They would like that, I'm sure. I'm sure they'd pay a lot of money to anyone who delivered it.
Well, it would be a shame if you would have had an open communication and you would have maybe let that information slip to them, huh?
That would be such a tragedy.
Well, we'll be getting to slip one. Is that what it's called? Slip
Skip
one?
one. Yeah.
Skip one.
Mhm.
Beginning to skip one soon. I'll make a little distraction so you can kind of slip off.
I'll remember. What's your name? Kishal?
Kashal.
I'll remember. Yeah, and so back on the dock, like it's chaotic and there's people everywhere, and she seems to have like, I guess, in the rush, gotten away somewhere.
yeah, I think that's when like Keitra would have asked Kashal like, whatever happened to that woman?
Getting our credits, I guess. I mean, I trust her, don't you?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say that shit and he looks at you like he shoots this nasty look like, I wasn't talking to you kind of a look, but then he kind of remembers his place and he's like, it's okay. That's not our real payday anyways. She would have been just a good riddance to.
Yeah, she just kind of like looks out like in the dock area. All these people walking around. She's just all like, "You're welcome."
Speaking of payday, we should probably get that taken care of sooner than later.
Yeah, so you walk through this bizarre like market area and like back to the Trent Ocean stall. And there's like a commotion happening there. There are like several people standing in front of this stall who look like the kind of people you don't want to see where you're going. Like tall ruffians, like you think probably involved in some sort of like criminal organization maybe. And so they're standing there and they're like talking in like hushed tones with the Trandoshan, who like seems to be doing his best to like assure them that there's nothing here, like there's no Oomb here, and he's like got his arms up in the air and he's like trying to explain that to them. And yeah, this is the scene you see.
Great. What are the odds that we just walk by and pretend that we don't see them?
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to work just great.
Can we
don't
see
stay-
anything on their, like, do they have any type of uniforms or they have any type of badges or anything?
The same thing.
You don't think they're like law enforcement of any kind?
I'm thinking more like, do you think maybe that they might be, I don't know, the type that want to be really, really, really friendly to droids?
Potentially. You also think that they could be like gangsters, or that they could be like,
or perhaps a particular celestial body of a dark color.
right? Or they could be like undercover Imperials. Like there's a whole bunch of reasons that people might be here looking for Oomb.
That's true.
It's also worth considering that you're in a position where you have the thing and two parties want the thing, you know? And so you see this argument happening anyway, and like it's heating up, and you can see that like those people are arguing with the Trandoshan, and then there's like another two people who come over, and then they start arguing. These are like wearing sort of that same sort of like smuggler outfit, but they're like too clean shaven and a little bit too clean to properly sell it, and they're arguing. And so as you like stand there and like Prime is watching this situation like with his head turned to the side, then like more people, and so like there's this whole thing happening in front of this stall now with people like trying to push past each other, and like it's getting out of hand. And I think that's probably what we're gonna call it, and we can figure out what to do with that situation next time, because it's complicated. Yeah, so thanks for watching if you did. Thanks to all my players, yada yada yada. See you around.
Pax